Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're reacting to the long-awaited Clank Legacy 2 Acquisitions Incorporated Darkest Magic.
Take
Um,
my money now.
oh boy, there it is. But yeah, no, this one, they did announce it a few weeks ago. Maybe it was even longer than that ago. I was thinking we could react to it then, but I figured just wait till it launched. So when we're filming this, it's the first day of the launch. Probably, I don't know, about 7 hours into it or so,
Yep.
ish. And thought we could react to kind of what the page is, what they're offering. I just figured doing it now versus doing it when they initially just kind of released a teaser trailer and said that it was coming wasn't really as much to go on there. So I
Yep.
figured we could
Yep.
kind of talk about our thoughts here on what we think about it, how
Yeah, and I
excited
think
we
we
are.
I think we can take a little credit for this coming into existence. We have mentioned in the past how this would be an instant back for us. So I think that was actually the inspiration for this campaign.
I 100% agree with that.
They watched our top 10 of 2020 when we first played this game, the original. And like, okay, we got
Yes,
to give these guys some more.
we got to give them what they want.
But yeah, already nearly $300,000 with 3,000 backers. So I would say a success.
Hmm. Yeah, I would agree, but I would say I'm I'm wondering if it could have been bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
just my thoughts because I don't know exactly how it all works in the Kickstarter world, but
Oh
usually,
yeah.
yeah, like we were calculating earlier, we're like if they kept up at this kind of pace, could expect another 69,000 backers. But obviously, I think the way Kickstarter typically works is the first day or two, maybe three, is kind of a lot of activity, a lot of people
Yep.
coming in, and it kind of, I mean, probably the second and third day kind of depend a little bit on the first day, how
Yep.
well that is and how it gets kind of pushed. I don't know exactly how it Kickstarter decides how it's pushing out that information, but I think that's kind of how that works. And then kind of right at the end, people might have
It's kind of
backed at a dollar or put some sort of reminder on there, and then it usually I think it reminds them in the last it's either 24 or 48 hours or something. So there's usually an uptick at the end as well. So
yep.
I don't think it'll be nearly that much, but I'm wondering if it'll hit 1 million now or not
That's what I was gonna
because
ask. I
I
was gonna
don't
ask you if you.
know if it's enough of a first day.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's only
first
8 hours, not quite the first day yet, 100%,
yeah.
but
The first legacy is very popular, 24th overall rank of all games in history on Board Game Geek. So it's definitely, I think, should have the backing. At least, as you can see, I personally believe it should have the backing, my 10 out of 10 stars, to get that 1 million. But I, I'm not sure. I'm really, really not sure. It could be close, might be a few 100,000 short, not sure, but hopefully.
yeah, I
Um,
hope it makes a ton because, in all honesty, I'd love to eventually see a third one as well or fourth one. Uh, but just a couple things that I thought might be affecting the campaign uh, is the price point seems about like what you could get the original one for
yep.
currently.
So
Uh,
price point for this for just the new one, season two, or I don't know if it's a season. We call it season. Is $99. MSRP 125. Or you could get both of the legacies for $179. So yeah, I think that is about. Didn't you get it for about $100? I think a few years
Actually,
back when you did get it.
I think it was only like 70 or 80
Oh,
because, and I don't know if it was on a deal or something or whatnot, but I know I knew you'd like Clank because we got it
yeah.
for you, and I was looking at Clank, and then I think it also showed Clank Legacy. I think it was on Amazon, and at the time they were both about the same price. Clank, the original,
Yep.
might have actually been more for some reason. I don't know if it
Interesting.
was out or not out of print, but like didn't
Oh,
have in stock or was very low or something. Because I know sometimes it fluctuates on Amazon when they get down there. Um, but yeah, so then we ended up getting Legacy because it was like pretty sure it was like the same price. And I thought it was around 70 or 80. So
Yeah,
uh, yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know if it's kind of maybe the price. If people were maybe hoping for a little, just a
yeah,
little bit lower than that, maybe 80.
yeah. I could see that. Still, for us, and I would think for most people who had played the original game, maybe if you're just getting into it now, but if you had played that original, I've only ever heard great things about it. So I don't think it's too absurd to where that would turn you off of getting that experience for a second time. Because I'm pretty sure both of us would be willing to pay, probably shouldn't say it, but even a little more than that because we had such an amazing experience with it. Um, but yeah, it is a little high. It's not, it doesn't feel like, ooh, a deal or anything like that.
Right. Because yeah, I think the other part is I don't know how well legacy games usually do on
Mm,
Kickstarter crowdfunding source sites because um, there is just that. Even though I would argue probably most games people buy on Kickstarter or GameFound probably lucky to be played 10 to 15. I don't know how
yep.
many. I don't know if it says how many games this one has or how many stories, but I think the first one it had around a little over 10, right?
Yeah, 10
Games
or a
of play.
dozen or whatever. Yeah.
Right. And I would argue there's probably a lot of games people get on these that might not even get five plays. So,
Yeah.
but they will probably argue like, oh, this is a legacy. So,
But it
and you
is
can play it
replayable.
afterwards.
It
You
is
can play it
replayable.
after.
And I, for one, am
I,
totally fine with that. I would rank
you are.
the Clank system a 10 out of 10. So I'm totally okay playing it after. I know you don't, you feel like it loses a bit. And I agree, you do lose that legacy aspect, but I still am left with a game that I love. So,
Yeah. I think after that, it probably drops for me by a decent amount down to, because I would say mine's at about the experience that we had from playing it was like a 10. But the after the fact is probably closer to like a 7.5 or 8. I still really like the game, but it's just not quite the same. Uh,
yeah,
so I don't know if that'll be the case with this one. But yeah.
but yeah.
And
So
now that I've got Clank Catacombs, I've only played it once, so we'll see kind of how that feels. But I do feel like I'm going to prefer that over going back to
yeah,
kind of more of a Clank style board
I've not
uh,
gotten the
from
opportunity to play
the
that yet,
original.
but I'm
Yes.
looking forward to it. But
So
yeah,
I think it's probably a
getting
combination of those things that's probably hurting it. And this is the first project Direwolf has done, I believe, relating to board games.
yep.
Even though they've had
So
the
it's
highly
their
successful first Clank Legacy and also Dune.
first, yep, first created for Kickstarter. Yep.
So they've had a lot
Um,
of popular games. So that's why it kind of surprises me that there's not more. So
yeah,
I'm guessing it's got to be a combination of those types of things. And people are probably thinking, I'm guessing you'll probably, if this hits retail, probably get it for at least 100, and you may not have to pay shipping depending on where you're getting it. So
yep.
whereas this one you will. So some people might just be waiting for that because it doesn't seem like it's a good enough deal. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I can see that. But yeah, into what's in this box. Another big box that looks like about the same size, which at the time I think that was the biggest box we had, but we have gotten bigger by now. But this comes with four unique characters and custom miniatures. Uh, Another double sided. I had the first thing I checked when it showed this board was, is it double sided? Because the one in the original Legacy is double sided, which is really cool. Just gives you two different boards, maps to play with.
Mhm.
Not spoil too much. Try not to. Um, but yeah, it looks like you same thing. Going to be filling in this board with different spots and stickers, which were pretty good in the game. I think some of them kind of were somewhat problematic. Kind of the cut in the board,
Mhm.
kind of being the edge and lifting the stickers a little bit, but board looks pretty nice. Obviously, I don't think any of the artwork is completely final, but it's interesting to kind of you see these snowflakes in the background here and kind of an icy look to it. I like that look um, personally. I kind of like that. We've started to get a few more of those games. Endless
Mhm.
Winter is one that stands out, and I think there have been a couple more that we've looked at.
Was it
I think,
DEI or something?
yep, some of the GameFound Kickstarter projects we've been looking at have that kind of feel. Obviously, Frosthaven as well. So I wonder if that's kind of gaining popularity. But yeah, a lot of components here, lots of cubes, tokens, ton of cards, a lot of cards, and even post hundreds of new adventure cards. But yeah, and then the Cardporium, which even after finishing the campaign, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but there's still a lot of cards that are left that you do not touch unless you go and look at them. Forbidden cards. But yeah, so got a Book of Secrets, lots of reading, lots of
I hope the
choices.
Book of Secrets is a little better than the first one because that started kind of falling apart.
Yeah, yeah, but Michaela had handled that, so that's not our problem.
Right.
Don't watch this, man. But yeah, here's the crew: the defiant, a rebellious princess seeking her own daring path from palace life. I guess I'll ask you what character you think you'll be playing in this
Oh,
haunted
I already know.
on the run from the law and from a family curse. That sounds like you, I'd say.
Wow.
Ambitious and aspiring adventure, ready to chop her way to the top of the pack. The vengeful, a hard-boiled tracker searching for answers, no matter the cost. You might be the vengeful, actually.
I'm gonna be the vengeful.
Oh my
Maybe.
goodness. I'm thinking either the defiant or the ambitious. I like those are probably my two favorite miniatures of the two. So, and they've got an axe with this one, and that's kind of reminiscent of my Thunderbeard with his big battle hammer axe, whatever he had.
Mhm.
So yeah, those pretty cool miniatures. But something that's new in this are boss battles. Each of these big baddies bring their own abilities and challenges, and you'll have to go through them to keep the kingdom and the business on track. So I'm interested in what that will bring to the game. You're already fighting baddies, but not in an official like boss battle type thing. So I'm pretty interested. And it looks like we'll be revealing the different bosses as the campaign goes on through the weeks. So we'll be covering this in one of our Take My Money episodes. And so hopefully a little more of this will be revealed by then that we can talk about.
Mhm. Yeah, I find that hopefully that'll be interesting because I
Yep.
think there was if you keep going, I was just gonna say
Yep.
for this one there's a bit of a cooperative or some cooperative scenarios, I guess. So I wonder if that's gonna be kind of when we're gonna have those boss battles potentially.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm interested to see how that'll work. It's kind of it'll be interesting. I honestly don't know what to
Yeah.
expect of that.
Yeah, cooperative. I feel like that's pretty fitting with the game because already some of the objectives in the first game were kind of semi-cooperative, where we each had to pitch in towards some part of the goal. Um,
Mhm.
this looks like it might kind of go into like a full co-op type mode, so that's cool. This I don't know about the scratch offs, which it's
Yeah.
it's it's cool the idea, but I know you have a kind of top 100 games on BGG, and as you play them, you scratch them off. Sometimes that can be kind of hard. And
Mhm.
Pandemic Legacy, it had scratch offs in there. And those cards you just threw away after you scratched them off.
Mhm.
And good thing because it left a mark and it definitely dented it and warped the card a little bit. So if these are cards that will then be going into your deck or be used forever,
Mhm.
I don't like the idea of scratching into them like that. Unless
Yeah, I
it's
don't.
really easy to scratch it off.
Yeah, it's got to be a really there are some that are really good at that. But yeah, if it doesn't have that, I would agree. I don't for a deck building game, I don't think that works to have cards like what was it? A marked card? Is that what it's considered?
Yeah,
Sort of.
yeah.
Or
Because like
but
if
yeah.
that leaves any dent or crease in it, or like through the to the back or anything at all, then I don't know. I just feel like that's a little problematic. I
Mhm.
mean, there are stickers as another option. That's kind of like the reverse thing, adding on extra
Layers, which
layers. So you're gonna have that either way with this.
That's true.
It wouldn't be as good as it is without that aspect, and I don't know if you can really, unless you get a printer that just prints it on there.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know if I don't think it wouldn't like ruin the game or
Yeah.
anything, but yeah, just gonna uh, be kind of another thing because yeah, I think sometimes you could tell if you had stickered cards.
Oh, yep.
Um,
Yep.
but yeah, I think it's fine. I hope it's not too many of them.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
my hope, but yeah.
Yeah. Looks like you will be getting likely if they can. Yeah, they hit that. So getting special coins. I assume that's to scratch it off. So hopefully
Mhm.
they can just. It's their coins. It's their scratch offs. It should work out fine. If not, you'll be hearing it in our first impression or review whenever that goes up next year.
Exactly.
But yeah, I got some extra
Couple foil
cards.
cards.
Ooh, first ever foil Clank promo cards. Mr. Whiskers and Dire Wolf.
Ooh.
Nice. And some more cards and some many more things to be unlocked, I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the other thing that's maybe not getting people's attention. Um, it sounds like these will be available after the fact, maybe for additional
Yep.
purchase, which I'm totally fine with. I don't know that I care that things are made like, oh, if you don't get it on Kickstarter, you'll never ever get it again. I don't know that I love that. So I'm fine with that, but those things so far don't seem to be the
Yeah.
most amazing. When I first saw the coins, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. The coins in the game because I feel like you use them enough. I thought it was for the
Yeah.
coins. I thought it was metal
That
coins.
now
So I'm
that
like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then it
that
wasn't.
is the
So
first thing I
that
thought
was
too.
kind of like a slap in the face.
I
Like,
was like,
oh,
oh,
that's
there's a lot
disappointing.
of those coins. But yeah, so if they could add that, that would be pretty cool.
That would
Maybe
be.
something with the clank cubes as well, instead of
Mhm.
just wooden cubes. It could be interesting if they would do something a little different there. But
Yeah,
again,
that
there's
would
a
be
lot of
cool.
those as well, so who knows how that would affect kind of like the
Yeah.
estimated date, which is currently June
Which is a ways out.
2024,
So
so over a year. And pretty, as like we said, they released a lot of great games, well received, so pretty established. I think they should be able to
mhm,
handle it. But yeah, I would like a nice few extra blinged up bits
mhm.
with those cubes, and yeah, those coins would be pretty cool to get. Metal.
I would agree. And I don't know what's in their plans or whatnot. But yeah, I would say that so far it's not my favorite, but at the same time, I guess I don't know. I think the expectation in my head would be that kind of some of those things could have sort of already been in there, uh, but
Yeah, yeah.
maybe not. But no, otherwise, I'm still really excited about this one. I don't know if we've done any videos just specifically on Clank Legacy,
I don't
the,
think so. I think we
the
were
original.
talking about maybe doing just a kind of a review, going back and talking about it because we love it so much, but I don't think we ever did.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have to do that. Let us know in the comments below. But that was an amazing experience. Like Pepper had on there, he's got it ranked as 10, rated as a 10. So I'm still really excited
I'll have
about
to
this
go.
one.
I'll have to
It
rate this one a
looks
10 as well.
wow. You're part of the problem. No, I think I think this one looks good too. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to be backing it. I I'm already backing it. But I would say that. Um, if you don't care about being the first one to get it, and um, I don't know what it depends what they unlock from here on out, and
Yep.
what kind of if there are differences that you'd have to pay for later, maybe then step in. But currently, I would say uh, if you're fine waiting, I think you can probably get it for this price or maybe even
Yeah.
better at retail,
Yeah, I think so.
because it is still a ways out too. It's going to be next summer, so
Yeah.
if you don't want to hold your money up in this one for a little over a year, then I could see not doing it. I don't think it's like an amazing price where it's like, oh, you have to get this, but I will
Yeah.
be, or I am.
Yeah.
So
Now the question is, do I get it as well?
I was
No.
actually debating whether or not to get that upper management one to
Yeah, that is
play
the other
through the
question.
original again, but I don't know. That might be another video talking about whether or not you can play a legacy game more than once.
I mean, it's probably the best legacy game out there, so we're gonna play any of them twice. Why not this? Let us
That
know
is
if you
true.
think we should get that upper management pledge and play the original again.
Because then we might do it.
Make
We
all
may
the
do it.
make all the same choices.
Exactly. Do the same exact thing that we did the first time.
Then I
So,
would win again. Just got to shout out that I did actually win that legacy. Good luck in season 2.
I don't need it. I'm gonna whoop you. But yeah, let us know in the comments below whether or not you're excited about this one, or what your thoughts were on the original.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next video. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.